Today, I have the last honest streamer. I'd say I'm pretty honest, but I haven't been live in like a month. Oops.
For whatever reason, the internet loves the spectacle. The bigger it is, the louder it is. The more expensive it looks, the better it performs. Look at the top of Twitch right now. It's flooded with million-dollar mansions, celebrity subathons, streamers buying their 10th dream car. Everything seems to be built around the question, how much money can we burn on camera?
It does feel like
And then
that
there's this guy.
content creation.
Caseoh is
My
interesting
goat.
because on paper, he's doing almost everything wrong. His production quality is kind of garbage.
Caseoh, where'd he come from? 200,000 viewers playing Fall Guys yesterday.
Yeah, it wasn't even zoomed in or cropped.
His setup isn't designed to be some massive content machine. Half the time he's live, he's playing some random game most people have never even heard of.
Your costume sucks, kid.
I mean, when your entire job is getting people to watch you, you don't turn down a Mr. Beast video. But Caseoh did.
Caseoh did not respond to my message.
And somehow, despite doing the
I wouldn't have
opposite of what
responded
the
either,
internet
low-key.
tells creators they're supposed to do, he's still one of the biggest streamers on the planet. How does that happen? The honest answer is that none of this should have worked, because Caseoh's had the odds stacked against him since day one. Case Baker grew up in rural Arkansas. His hometown has
Oh,
a
this is a
population
whole
just over
documentary on his
1,500.
life?
It's the kind of place where a new Walmart makes the front page, and where the churches outnumber the stoplights. Towns like that don't have a lot going on. So, as a quiet kid, Case did what quiet kids in quiet towns have always done. He disappeared into a screen. In this case, a PlayStation, Call of Duty on repeat. And when YouTube started blowing up in the early 2010s, he was right there watching Nate Shot and the Optic guys build something that didn't exist a decade earlier. He watched gaming turn from a thing you did after school into an actual career.
Well, how does this sound? Making a living and even a small fortune just playing video games.
The biggest names were clearing their parents' annual salaries in a single weekend.
I wasn't too
And
much.
after
I wasn't
watching
too big
that,
into
it
COD.
became
Well, I
Case's dream
was like I didn't own COD at home. I played it at like my cousin's house. So I never got really big into Call of Duty. I got more into like Counter-Strike because I had a PC at home. So I was never really huge on COD like this. I do have fond memories of COD
The
though.
problem was he knew the odds, especially in his situation. His Wi-Fi was barely good enough to even watch YouTube. Uploading to it or streaming on Twitch, forget it. So he buried
Oh my
it.
god, the
He
old
graduated
YouTube.
high school, bounced between jobs, often working 2 at a time just to keep the lights on. For 6 years. 6 years of clocking in somewhere he didn't want to be. 6 years of watching other guys his age blow up online doing the exact same thing he'd given up on. By the end of it, Case was broke, burnt out. He was one bad week away from walking into a recruiter's office and signing up for the military. Then his mom stepped in, and she asked him the question that changed everything. Why not take a real shot at the whole streaming thing? What's the worst that happens? Now, streaming is one of the most
Yo, I
competitive
wish my
jobs
parents
on
would
the
tell me
planet.
that, what the hell?
And if you're like Case, trying to pursue it full time, you need to understand. There's levels to this. Level 1, you can quit your job. Level 2, you're living large. And at level 3, you're the top 1% of the top 1%. Now, there's no direct translation from Twitch viewers to money. So, for the sake of the example, we're
That's
gonna
not
say
true.
you reach level 1 at around 100 viewers. Once you're there, you can take the leap to streaming full time. Which gives
I do think 100 viewers, this might be a hot take, but I do think you can be full-time doing content creation with 100 viewers average on Twitch, as long as you have like, you know, like a YouTube channel that you're also maybe not co-streaming, multi-streaming on and uploading videos. I do think that's very possible, but you'll probably have to do a lot of it yourself and you won't have the funds to like hire an editor, but I do think it's possible.
Thing there sounds totally reasonable. It's not. Somehow convincing 100 people to watch you live is brutal. In the past year, 18.4 million people opened up Twitch and broadcasted live on the platform. I want you to guess how many of them actually made it to level 1. Seriously. Throw a
Zero,
number out
or
there.
like probably like a one,
The
like
answer
less than
is
1%.
165,536. That's less than 1%. For every person who gets to level 1, there's 100 that don't. Every big streamer you see today spent days, weeks, if not months streaming to an audience of 0. I mean, take Jinxie for example. He streamed to just 5 viewers for a year and a half before he ever made it.
5 viewers? He's grinding!
And I'm throwing all of these numbers at you for a reason, because without them, you wouldn't understand how truly insane what happens next is. Okay, so hate to interrupt myself here, but let's say you're like Caseoh and don't love your day job. Maybe you're not all that interested in streaming, but you've got a business idea and just don't know where to actually start. Well, let me tell you about
Ad.
WAP.
WAP.
WAP is
You
the
know, I'll
world's
let the
largest
ad
internet
play.
market. It's
I'll let the
where
ad
you go
play.
to create, connect, and transact all in one place. Coaching, paid communities, clothing brands, software, whatever it
That's
is,
cool.
WAP handles the entire back end for you. Pay-ins, payouts, all of it. The scale is wild. Over 18 million people are on the platform, and businesses on WAP are pulling in more than $3 billion a year. You've got thousands of solopreneurs running right next to major brands like Caseoh, 11 Labs, and Polymarket. And here's the kicker that gets me. WAP Treasury actually pays you 6% on every dollar your business earns on the platform. Your money's working while you're working. So if you're stuck in a job you hate, go to
That's actually
WAP.com to start your business
sounds
today.
pretty good. That sounds good. Too good to be true, low-key.
to crazy.
But support
You
his
see,
support
Caseoh
that.
hit level 1 in the first hour of his
My VTube studio on my phone just crashed. So
first ever stream.
That's never
and he
happened.
didn't just get lucky.
Hey, y'all came through deep from the top, man.
In the days before he went live for the first time, Caseoh was already laying the groundwork. He spent days filming and editing clips of him playing NBA 2K23.
Yeah, this is very
And on
smart.
September 10th, 2022, he uploaded 22 videos.
I need to be
TikTok.
doing this.
The next morning, he woke up to over 10,000 followers and a comment section
Damn.
flooded with one question. So that night, he went live for the first time and the floodgates opened.
When I look down and I see 126 viewers, bro, I cannot believe it.
From that day on, he followed the same routine. Clock into the 9 to 5, hit the second job, cut a few lawns, then come home and stream until he couldn't keep his eyes open.
I don't want to go sleep, man. I want to go to work, man. I want another build, dog. All I want to do is make builds and play 2K forever. Why do I gotta go work?
After each stream, he'd find the best moments, clip them, and fire them
True.
back onto TikTok. The loop fed itself. Inside a week, he'd blown past 100,000 TikTok followers. Every stream was pulling 500 plus.
That is
concurrent
crazy,
viewers.
his
That call me
rise.
quit, this your life now, cuz? Dude, imagine.
And the number that actually mattered, he was making more money streaming at night than he was at his day job.
And no, y'all literally just donated more than I make in a week in one night. Bruh.
But Caseoh kept his head on straight.
That's so-
What shows up overnight can also disappear overnight. So before he quit his day job, he
That's so
knew that
nice.
this wasn't a fluke. So he made a deal with his chat, hit 5,000 Twitch subs, and he'd quit his job.
This a day we gonna
5,000?
remember forever, you feel me? This a day we
You know,
gonna remember.
like to put into perspective, like the average minimum wage is $9.57. So like let's just round it up to $10 an hour. So let's say Caseoh is making minimum wage of $10 and he's working like 40-hour weeks, maybe 50-hour weeks because he has two jobs. That's like $500. That's like $2,000 a month. $15,000 in a single month. That's 7+ months, 7.5 months of working in a month. Honestly, if I was in this situation, I'm someone who's very all or nothing. So I'd probably just go all in. But obviously for security reasons, it's smart to hold off. But this is very inspiring to see. Like it makes me want to keep grinding.
Remember forever. You know I love y'all, man. Thank you, bro. It's all y'all. You feel me? Thank you, man. Full-time Caseoh in the building, and I'm laying in their mouth too.
Within just a few weeks, it was a done deal. Case's fan base was new, but dedicated, and they wanted to see him pursue this thing full time.
Like I said, I've been dreaming of wanting to, be a streamer, a content creator since I was 13 years old. I finally took the leap, bro. I finally took the leap, and y'all came through.
It's so relatable.
Y'all came through quick.
It's so
No,
relatable.
it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows from here. His internet was still garbage, like genuinely bad. Streams would lag or even just end because the
my
connection
God.
bottomed out.
Do you see
Oh
my view?
my.
And when you're trying to build an audience, that's the kiss of death. If your stream ends, they move on to the next. Eventually, numbers started slipping. For a couple months, it looked like maybe the whole thing was a fluke. Maybe the bubble had already popped.
You know, I seen the numbers when I very first started. You know, the hype was there because I first blew up. Had like 800 viewers every night. Then y'all seen
Damn.
it dip to like, 100, 150. I was like, I gotta do something different or it's gonna go under.
Then he picked up a different game, Hogwarts Legacy. It was kind of a weird choice. It had a totally different audience from the 2K crowd he'd built, but he streamed it anyway, clipped a moment, and posted it to TikTok.
Well, Caseoh is just a funny guy, so he can play anything,
See the sun peeking through the window a
which
little
is
bit.
proven now.
Schedule gone now. Gotta make Hufflepuff proud though. Hey, it is what it is, man.
That one video alone pulled in over 18 million views. Just like that, he's back. Viewership climbs to 600, keeps climbing, month after month. Every week, another clip going viral, another wave of new viewers funneling straight into the stream. The snowball was rolling again. By May 2023, Caseoh
No,
was
Caseoh
averaging
is
over
so funny.
2,500 viewers, a legitimate name in streaming culture.
If you don't know who he is, you gotta be living under a rock.
And this is level 2. At level 2, you're starting to live large. You're in big boy money territory. At this point, you're not going to bed afraid the whole thing vanishes overnight.
All right, man, my dad. Get him out of here.
With over 2,500 average viewers, Caseoh was sitting somewhere just inside the
2,500.
top 1,000 streamers on Twitch. Incredible by any measure, but remember, Twitch is stacked top heavy. And when I say top heavy, I mean it.
It's very, very top heavy.
At
I've
any
ranted
given
about
moment,
this
there are
many
about 3
times.
million users on Twitch watching content. When you break down the viewer distribution by channel rank, the picture gets pretty clear. Out of the millions of channels on the platform, the top 250 pull over half the viewership. That's the difference between level 2 and level 3. While it seems like the easiest jump on the ladder here, it's actually the most difficult. There's a specific blueprint nearly every streamer has followed to make this jump. Here, I'll break it down for you. What you're looking at right now is 5 of the biggest streamers on the planet. Each at the moment they were averaging exactly 2,500 viewers. Pay attention to the setups. None of them are exciting. The rooms are pretty basic, the camera quality kinda sucks. There's no production value. They look like what they are, just guys streaming from their bedrooms. Now fast forward to when those same streamers are pulling 10,000 viewers a night. Everything's changed. The lighting's dialed in. The cameras are crisp. The rooms look intentional.
Except for
this
speed.
is the blueprint kicking in, and it all starts with one realization. At this level, streaming isn't just a job anymore. It's a business, and like a business, the goal is to make as much money as possible. The internet, for whatever reason, craves a spectacle, and the spectacle game is pretty easy to play. You've kinda just gotta spend money to make money. The setup is just the start. Next comes the move to LA. Buy the mansion, drop the I just bought
I'm
my
never
dream
moving
car
to
video,
LA.
hire a dozen editors to pump out clips around the clock. By the time you're clearing 50,000 viewers, it turns into an optimization race. Every stream, every upload, every second of content is engineered to milk the cash cow. The longer you stay on the top, the more efficient it becomes, and weirdly, the more the internet praises you for it. But the spectacle only works if people are still looking. Relevancy is the whole game. The second your numbers dip, the money goes with it. So you're forced to stay visible. You hit the podcast circuit, impulsive on Monday and blank on Thursday. You show up to every mainstream streamer event. You become a permanent fixture in the conversation because the conversation is the product. And the fastest way to stay in the conversation is to stand next to someone bigger than you. Take those same 5 streamers and pull up their biggest streams of all time. Ninja, Fortnite with Drake, Hayden Ross, the Donald Trump interview, Caseoh, the LeBron stream
Crazy.
that pulled over 1 million concurrent viewers.
With LeBron,
That's
the
the blueprint.
GOAT.
I'm not necessarily saying it's bulletproof or guaranteed, but it's the safe route. Every streamer who's made it to the top 250 has run some version of that exact playbook based on constant evolution. But Caseoh ignored this approach altogether. His strategy is quite literally the opposite in just about every possible sense. The last time we talked about Caseoh, he was fresh off of Hogwarts, averaging 2,500 viewers. So let's run that same comparison from earlier and fast forward to when he's at 10,000.
He's still doing the same thing.
Not much has changed. I mean, sure, he did buy a new house, but he moved from a trap house to a trailer just across town. Either way, at the end of the day, his computer monitor is still being held up with a vacuum cleaner.
If I don't have the vacuum
Is that
cleaner
real?
holding up the back of the monitor,
my
it'll
God.
fall over. And then back here are my PCs. You can tell they're being held up by books as well.
And the camera quality seems to somehow have gotten worse.
Chat, my stream quality is actually so crispy. It looks like it's in 4K.
Since Hogwarts, he's continued to stream 4 to 6 nights a week. Same time, same chat, rotating through whatever random games he feels like. Supermarket Simulator, Granny, Dress to Impress.
What is this? Why is
What?
it
Oh,
on my
dressed to
front
impress.
page?
Yo, I'm good at this game.
Games a normal person wouldn't think to stream. But then you watch for 5 minutes and you start to get it.
This is the funniest dude on the internet right now.
Just plays the most random
Everything.
game.
He is so
Caseoh, where do you
funny.
come from?
Like he's a natural entertainer. Alongside his work ethic, the key factor was how entertaining he was, just naturally.
200,000 viewers playing Fall Guys yesterday.
Because
Okay, but his
the game
Fall
is
Guys
simple.
clips are so
The chat isn't
funny.
there for the games. They're there to watch him fall out of his chair for the 10th time this month and narrate it like he's describing a car accident.
Yo, that almost killed me. Oh! Yo, chat! The chair is dead, dude!
To watch him get jump scared by a horror game and scream at a volume that blows out the mic. And that's why it worked. By January of 2024, Caseoh was averaging over 50,000 concurrent viewers. every
Damn,
single night, making him the
50,000.
number 3 ranked streamer on all of Twitch.
Like, my mind is weird. Like, in my mind, I still don't have the thought of, like, I still made it. Yeah, because in my mind, I feel like if I have that thought and tell myself that I made it, you don't want to get, like, lazy. It's going to go downhill.
Yeah, you don't want to get
By
complacent.
every metric the industry actually uses, Caseoh is underperforming. He's leaving growth on the table at every possible turn. He doesn't invest in new setups, he doesn't upgrade his gear,
my
and has
God.
no real plan to optimize himself. Every analyst will tell you he could be twice the size he is if he just ran the playbook like everyone else. And honestly, they're probably right. But here's
I
the thing.
don't
Caseoh
know
never
if
looked
that's
at any of that
necessarily
and felt like he
true.
was
I mean, he's
losing something.
entertaining, but how does that translate to like, I think it would translate well to like collabs with like celebrities, but I don't know how it'll do with like IRL stuff that like iShow Speed does. But I guess that's an extreme example. Like obviously he's probably leaving some growth on the table, but he's enjoying what he's doing now. I'm a big believer in as long as you're enjoying what you're doing and you're having fun, you should just keep doing that. So like he seems, I mean, obviously he seems to be having a lot of fun just doing what he's doing always. So I don't see the need for him to really, I guess, go down the regular streamer pipeline. I just think Caseoh's holding it down for the Twitch of old, where it used to be all about games, and I'm here for that. That's the kind of stuff I want to do.
Buying a house in the hills, pulling up in a supercar, collecting all the things that say you've made it. None of that ever seemed to be important to him. And there's nothing wrong with wanting those things. A lot of creators
Yeah, there's
go
nothing
in
wrong with wanting
exactly
those
that
things,
goal in mind.
but some people are just not
Caseoh sits in this
materialistic.
rare category of someone who actually reached the I made it moment and genuinely doesn't want it.
It was never about like being huge, just like, because it didn't matter the money. You know, I just wanted to do what I loved for a living. I could be, you know, pinching
I can
pennies to
relate.
make it, but as long as I get to stream every day instead of go to work, I was cool with that. You know?
But to be clear, it's not like he's allergic to money. He's the #3 streamer on Twitch. The guy is doing just fine. But there's a difference between making money and squeezing every last cent out of your audience. He's never done any kind of subathon. He doesn't say yes to every brand that comes knocking, and he doesn't manufacture drama to give the numbers a little bump. The way he sees it, you can't leave money on the table if it was never what
Oh
you
wait,
said.
on the topic of the trans flag, happy Pride Month, everybody! Shout out all my LGBTQ viewers.
Down for.
Some of my most favorite jobs I ever had were the jobs where I was making pennies. Yo, I'm not even finna lie to y'all. I think y'all just donated more than my week's paycheck in one night. I'm talking about sitting in the parking lot of the dollar store, having to call my mom, be like, hey, can you spot me $50 for food for the rest of the week? But you know what? I was happy. Like, if I could turn this into something and just be able to do this with y'all every day, that'd be a dream come true. Yeah, I was broke, but it was alright because the job was cool. Dude, I'm not worried about Twitch ad revenue. I would rather people have a good viewing experience than make an extra, you know, whatever a month.
I love Caseoh, man. He's so inspirational.
The mansion, the supercar, the optimization.
His mindset,
But
his
the
work
blueprint isn't
ethic,
only about money.
everything.
The
He's
other
just
half of the blueprint is relevancy. The streaming world has a short memory. And
very
the way you
inspirational.
fight that is by staying in the conversation. Podcasts, events, collabs, it all comes down to the same idea. Stand next to someone bigger than you, and you get to share some of their spotlight. Well, if you thought he was underperforming on the money side of the blueprint, just listen to this. In 3 years as one of the biggest streamers on the planet, he's done exactly one traditional collab. Jinxie.
What's the furthest you've ever traveled?
Florida, and that was one time to go to Jinxie's house.
And that collab is, almost word for word, the only existing footage of Caseoh outside of his own house.
My friend brought this up yesterday to me when we were
oh my.
He said it's crazy that Jinxie literally has the only recorded footage of me outside of my own stream setup. Like, he's the only one.
That is true.
That's got me out of my room.
Matter of fact, it was the first time he'd ever left the state he was born in.
So this is the first time you've ever been out of like Florida or out of Arkansas?
Oh, he's from Arkansas.
I don't know. I'll be getting homesick. I get away from home for too long. I'm just, man, I don't know.
I've left my state a lot, but I don't really like my state that much.
He hasn't shown up to a single one in person.
Mr. Beast tweeted you? Oh yeah, I talked to him. Yeah, I can't even go on a Mr. Beast video due to fear of airplanes.
Oh, he's scared of airplanes? That's fair.
According to the blueprint, all of those things just come with the territory of being in the top 1%. But Caseoh is avoiding all of it. And when you stack it all up, not going to award shows, turning down the collabs, even the fact that he's only left the state of Arkansas once, you start to wonder if there's more to it than just not caring.
Chat, I didn't tell y'all this, bro. When I was changing setups to go from the trap house into the trailer, I was literally a mental wreck for like a week straight. Because I don't know if anybody else has this, but dude, I have like some form of horrific OCD that I've had for years, that if something even minor changes, I'm gonna die.
You see, OCD is one of the
Oh,
most
really? I didn't know that he
out
had.
there. People hear the word
Well, maybe
and picture
OCD.
someone who just likes things clean and organized. And while that can be a part of it, that's not exactly what it is. At its core, OCD is anxiety. For Caseoh, moving into a new house meant moving into an environment that was full of variables his brain hadn't had the chance to map out yet.
Like when I take my hat off and put it on the counter, same spot every night. If it goes in a different spot, I'm dead.
Everything becomes unpredictable, and for someone with OCD, an unpredictable environment is one thing that can't be controlled. Each unknown stacks on top of the last until his brain is sent into overdrive.
Chad, here's some lore for you. Every time I would leave to work in the morning, I would go outside my house and I would have to check that my doorknob was locked 37 times. I would have to start my drive to work, take a block back around to my house and check it another 11 times. And then I could go to work.
That's pretty, I don't have it that bad. Well, I don't have anxiety that's that bad, but I remember when I used to have to go leave to university, I would take the bus and I would leave through my garage. And so you put like a code and then it opens from the outside and you can close it from the outside doing that as well. And I would like double back to check if I make sure I close my garage like so often. And even after I like see it closed, I still like in the back of my mind, I still feel like anxious about it. I don't think it's OCD in my case. I think I'm just an anxious person and I struggle with anxiety, but you know, it is what it is.
Explains why his setup has barely changed over the years. It's one of the places where his brain already knows the answers to all the questions. It's his rules at his pace, all in an environment that makes him most comfortable.
Yeah, I kind of relate to that.
He doesn't stay contained to his house. Follows him everywhere.
I went out in public 3 times in a row. I got recognized all 3 times. I never went outside again, bro. Like some people, bro, came up like, hey, yo, can I get a picture? Everybody started looking. I'm like, oh man, dude, I was about to pass out, man.
Outside of that room, he controls nothing.
That's why I don't want to show my, I don't like showing my face. I wouldn't show my face because I'm so afraid of people recognizing me.
When he's at home,
I'm
it's
so
easier
anxious
to
about
manage
that.
Because, well, he's in his own house. But in public, there's no way to make the unknown stop. It's not only uncomfortable, but also insanely overwhelming.
You have a better chance of actually winning the Powerball lottery than ever seeing me in public. That's how rare it is. No joke.
The blueprint says the path forward revolves around a constant state of evolution. The more you change, the newer things are, the more excited people are to watch. But for Caseoh, that path has never really been accessible the same way it is for everyone else. And yet, here he is.
Literally almost 1,000 away from 10 million. Say it ain't so. This is a moment in history? No, this is a moment in history.
Behind everything, the awards, the numbers, the journey from a rice mill to the number 3 spot on Twitch. Almost nothing has actually changed.
Oh my god.
Do this full time? Hey, I hope so, CJ.
That download
That'd be a dream
speed.
come true for you, boy, man. Maybe my parents don't have to work no more either. That'd be a dream come true too, bro.
He's been grounded in the fact that streaming was never about being the very best. It was always about building a life worth living, for himself and for the people he loves.
Wait, Mom, we're about to hit 10 million. I can't believe
This is a very relatable video.
My goodness. I can't believe what I'm seeing. We're about to hit 10 million! No way we're actually about to hit it. We hit 10 million, baby! Let's go!
Oh, that's sweet.
10 million on YouTube!
That's like his biggest supporter.
His mom was there before any of this made sense.
She brought me some balloons in here! Yo! She brought me some balloons!
Aww.
Get a pose in there with it.
Before all of the awards and money, before tens of thousands of people were waiting for him to go live, she was the only one who pushed him to try streaming in the first place.
That's a dadgum diamond play button! You've had this? What? It wouldn't be possible without y'all, Chad. And you know who else it wouldn't be possible without? My mom. Come stand in front of the camera.
Aww.
Look at that.
That's so sad. That's so
And his
nice.
dad, the man who spent his whole life doing the kind of work nobody claps for.
My dad, for example, like, dude, his whole life just working. He's had multiple back surgeries, multiple wrist surgeries, multiple foot surgeries.
Jesus.
All from just working his whole life.
The man he watched and worked alongside with do it with no complaints.
I work with my dad. We're both maintenance men. Maintenance ain't easy work. You know, you're crawling under sinks, you're changing faucets, you're crawling up in attics, you know, all that, just nasty.
The same man that taught him how to work was eventually the one who told him to quit his regular job and do what he loved.
I remember the night we hit 5,000. I was like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna call my boss. I remember I got him to call because I was scared. Like, hey boss, you know, I'm playing video games for a living. But it'd sound better coming from my dad because, you know, my dad was essentially like his right-hand man.
I mean, I mean, that's a scary phone call, but at the end of the day, you're just leaving. You're just leaving the job. It's not really their business what you're gonna do afterwards.
Yeah.
So, when streaming became a reality, he made sure that the two people who spent their lives building him up never had to work again.
What has been like the most fulfilling thing that you've run into in your career?
Just that everybody gets to chill
Yeah.
and they have to get away from the jobs they hated and everything like that, and we can all just chill and do this. That's the best thing. Look at her say they're retired because they do, because you know they don't want to just chill and do nothing. They do a lot of stuff for me. Like my dad, if I need something to go get or something, he goes and gets it. My mom handles all the background, like all of it.
If you ask Case, that's the whole story right there. In a world where overnight success has a way of quietly hollowing people out, Caseoh never let any of it change him.
The only thing I want to be is a place for people to go for 4 hours a night, forget about life, you know, crack some jokes, you know, have a good time, and just chill out.
And that's why this story isn't over.
That's
Caseoh
also
was
my
when he
goal
crossed the
for
line he
streaming.
wanted the most. He turned his dream into real life. He helped his family stop working. He became the place he always wanted to be for others. So whatever happens next
Caseoh
is just
Blanco,
icing
that's
on the
funny.
cake.
I've been dreaming of this since I was a kid, bro. Y'all for real low-key making making dreams come true, bro.
That was a good video. That's so inspirational. Like I relate so much to, I guess, his feelings of like wanting to do this since you're a kid. But he put in the work. He deserves all the success that he's gotten so far. It's very inspiring. And seeing someone who has the same dream as you succeed is very inspiring, especially when you can relate to so many parts of like his story. Yeah, that was the last honest streamer. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you guys did, there are more videos kind of like this one on the screen now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.